Good evening. How is everybody today? Tonight. This is Pat. I am coming to you on Tuesday for my Take Two Tuesday. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm glad that you're joining me tonight. So tonight, as you can see, I've got my supplies already. I did not crazy me, did not give you the dimensions and stuff beforehand, but I will give them to you tonight. I was just running a little behind. I've got lots of things I'm trying to do in a short amount of time. So anyway, so we're going to make a split front panel card tonight. And this is what the card is going to look like. In case you're wondering why I call this Take Two Tuesday, is that usually I have a group of great stampers and friends, and we do a, well, actually last night we had a bingo class, and this is one of the cards that we do. But normally I do something with them every Sunday called Sunday Fun Day. And for those that miss it, I do it again on Tuesday night here on my Facebook page. And that's why I call it Take Two Tuesday, because I'm doing it for the second time, just to catch everybody else up. So, but tonight, we didn't actually have that because we had a really fun bingo class last night where they got to win all kinds of fun prizes. But this is one of the cards that we made. So I thought that I would share it with you tonight because it's got kind of a fun little fold to it. It opens up like this. So we were making birthday cards last night, so that was a birthday card. But tonight we're actually going to use the stamp set that this paper is from. And that is from the Ice Cream Corner and the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. These are both new items that are in the January to June mini catalog, and this is just a really fun suite of things. Got lots of cute paper in it, and anyway, so but this is the card we're going to make, and I'm going to give you all of the pieces that you're going to need. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we're just going to kind of slide these over to the side. So, well, hello, Sharon. I'm glad you joined us. So, Sharon is one of my normal stampers, but she missed the bingo, so now she gets a chance to see what we did. So, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I'll put my little sticky note on here so you know what size. 4 1/4 by 11. We are going to do a little bit of cutting on this piece and a little bit of scoring on this piece, but this is the only piece you're going to need to make these, because this piece here that is actually the piece that's cut out of the middle. So I'm going to show you how to cut that and how to score it so you can make this card that flips open like that. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 11. Then you're also going to need one piece of Whisper White, or now it's Basic White. That's the new white that Stampin' Up has. And this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. So now you can write that down. You are going to need 2 pieces, and this is one of the pieces that's in there. These are 4 inches by 1 5/8. And you're going to need 2. So you can use any coordinating paper, but you just need, and then we're also using one other pattern that is in there also. These have little, I'm going to show you a bigger piece so you can see, because that one was cut. They have little ice cream cones with little sprinkles and stuff on it, really cute. So these are little ice cream cones. So we need 2 pieces of that. Those are also 4 by 1 5/8, so 4 1 5/8, and then we need 2 of those. So you need, and then we also need one of the same piece of paper, but we're going to cut it the other way. So this piece is 1 1/2 by 4. So when you're cutting your paper, so the dimensions that are listed, the 4 here and the 1 1/2 here, are the dimensions that go across. So when you're cutting your paper, when you need a 4-inch, you're going to cut it 4 by 1 5/8 so that the ice cream cones will be going right side up. But for this piece is longer. So if you cut it on 4, your ice cream cones would be sideways. So you need to make sure that you cut it 1 1/2 and then by 4 inches long. So just be careful if you have paper that has a direction on it, that you're paying attention to. The number that comes first is the number that's horizontal. The number that comes second is the number that's vertical down. So you just don't want to have your patterns going sideways on your paper. Then you also need just a little bit of ribbon. So this is about, oops, my thing's upside down. I'll flip it over here. This is probably about 12 inches. So just big enough to tie yourself. We're going to be tying a little bow with that. So I'm going to leave this here real quick just so you can, if you want to take a screenshot or if you want to quickly write down what all the measurements are. Hey Pam, you can do that. So you'll be all ready to do what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to move these out of the way and we're just going to cut this bigger piece of cardstock here. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we are going to cut it on the long side. Got stuff on my thing here. So this is the 11-inch side, and we're going to cut off 1 3/4 inch. So you're just going to put it on there. We're going to cut 1 3/4. This is the piece that's going to make the panel piece that's going this way. So don't throw this away. We need this for our card. So we're just going to set it aside. Now we're left with a piece that is, I believe it is 9 1/4 by 4 1/4. This piece we're going to score, and we're going to score it at 1 7/8. So if you're not real good with measuring and you need a little help, if you put it on the 2-inch mark, go back 2 little hash marks, it'll be 1 7/8, or 1 7/8. Sorry to get that right. Okay, so we're going to score it. So I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way so that we just have the scoring blade. So we're going to score it at 1 7/8. And then we're just going to turn the whole piece and we're going to score it the same way on the other side. So 1 7/8. So if you want to move it and score the whole thing, it's actually 1 7 3/8, but it's so much easier to remember just 2 little measurements. 1 7/8 on one end, turn your paper, 1 7/8 on the other end. And I'm just going to put that up here real quick. So this is how you're going to cut your piece of 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to cut 1 3/4 off the end. That was that piece. And then you're going to score this piece at 1 7/8 on each end. And I'm just going to leave that up there real quick just so you can do it. Hey Allison, good to see you. So hopefully you've either gotten that written down or took a little screenshot. You can always come back and watch the video again. But I do like to give you an opportunity to kind of get those written down. So, and then we're done. So we can put this away. Whoops, got caught on my cord there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece. I am going to flip it over. So when you score, you have kind of like a, not a ridge, kind of like a little dent where you've scored it, and the other side is kind of feels like a little, has got a little ridge on it. The part with the ridge is the inside. So we want to fold that to the inside. So we're going to just fold it, give it a good crease, and then we're going to do the same with the other end. We're just going to fold it in. So both ends get folded in toward the middle. And that is going to be the base of our card. So first thing I'm going to do is actually we're going to open it up, and the 2 pieces, remember we had 2 pieces that were 4 by 1 5/8. So I'm going to take that off. So 2 of these are going to go on the outside, 2 are going to go on the inside. So these 2 are going to be on the outside. So they're going to go, one's going to go at the top, the other one's going to go at the bottom, just like that. So let's attach those. Oop. My thing going here. I'm just going to attach it right to the end. Just kind of make sure it's kind of even all the way around. It's one. And then we're going to attach this one on the other end. Oop. That's going to go down here. And so now when we fold them in, that's going to be the outside of our card. And the other two pieces that we had that were the same measurements, they're 4 by 1 5/8. We're going to put those on the inside of the flaps, just to kind of give the inside of our card a little decoration so it's not so plain. Because we like to do, excuse me, fun things. Okay, and we want to make sure that we have them right side up, so don't put them on upside down. So one's going to go at the bottom. Oop, I didn't get that very straight, did I? Hold on. Good thing about this Stampin' Seals, it gives you just a minute to kind of get it back up without tearing your paper. See, didn't tear it at all. Once it's down there for a minute or two, though, you're not going to get it back up without tearing it off. But you kind of get like a little bit of a grace period. So I'm going to try and get it straight this time. It looks a little better. Okay, and then this is going to be on the top. I guess we could have put this one on there too. That would have looked pretty too. That's what's fun about Stampin' Up! Papers. They look good on both sides. And we want to make sure we have this going the correct direction too. And put that on there. And that is going to be, that's the outside, this is going to be the inside. So now we're going to take our piece of Whisper White, or actually Basic White cardstock. It's going to go right here in the middle. I do want to do just a little fun technique with you. If you look closely at this paper, and I'm not sure I'm going to get this in here right, there are little like spray dots, sprinkly dots on this paper. You might be able to see it better on this one. Yeah, nope, let me go this way, a little behind. So it's kind of hard to tell where I'm looking. So, but you can see that they're little sprinkly dots. So we're going to do that on this piece of paper. What you're going to need is one of the Stampin' Blends markers. And what we're going to do is the fat end, which is the larger brush tip end. If you look at, there's a skinny end that's a little more fine tipped, and then there's one that's a more brush tip. We want that end. And you're just going to take the cap off, and you're just going to flick, just put it right inside, and you're just going to kind of flick it just a little bit. And you can see I've got some little splatters on my paper. So the higher up you are, the smaller the splatters. The lower up you are, or the closer to the paper, you're going to get more, a little bit more of a finer thing. This is a little bit bigger, this is a little bit more finer. So you can do it as much or as little as you want. If you want a lot of splatters, you can do a lot. If you just want a few. It is going to go, so my cap is this way, the splatters are going to go that direction. They're going to go the direction of your cap. So you do want to make sure that you have, because you can see on my paper there's little splatter marks. You do want to make sure that you have some kind of paper underneath where you're doing this, so in case it splatters off. And you're going to want to move your card or whatever you're working on out of the way so that you don't accidentally splatter it too. So that's all you need to do. It just kind of gives it a little fun look on the inside, so it's not quite so plain. So we're going to wait just a second to do that because I want to put this piece on first, and I have to find my other little piece. So this is the longer, this is the piece that we cut off. It is 4 1/4 by 1 3/4, and then this is the other piece of designer series paper we had that is 1.5 by 4. So we're going to attach these two together, and then these two are going to go on the front of our card. Okay. It's not quite where I want it. I'm just going to peel it up real quick. Didn't get it down quite far enough. There we go. Okay. So this piece, got a little glue there, is going, stuck there. It's going to go on the front like this. So it's only going to get attached to the top flap, to this flap of your card. It's only going to attach there. So to help figure out where it's going to go, what I like to do is just place it where I want it, or I think I'm going to put it. So actually I'll turn it this way so you can see a little better. So I want it kind of about there, even from top to bottom, and kind of closer to this edge, because this space right here is where we're going to be stamping. If I put this inside, you'll get a better idea. It's where we're going to be stamping our sentiment. So I want to give it enough room. So if this was too far over, obviously that would be real skinny. So I want to kind of get it close to this edge. So what I'm going to do, move this out of the way, is I'm going to flip it over and put it exactly where I want it. And then I know to only put glue right here at the top. So I don't want to go anywhere below where this flap is. So I only want to put some right there on that part. Yeah, I'm losing my voice here. So I'm just going to put two little things up there. And then I'm just going to flip it over. And when I put it down, it's not going to go below the flap because I measured it on the other side, and I will be able to open my card. If you put it too far down, your card will be glued shut. And that's just kind of the easy way to figure out where it's going to go. It's not going to attach at the bottom because you need to be able to open your card. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere this onto here. So I'm just going to put some, and I'm actually going to stamp it last. And there's a reason for that, and that is, hey, I know, I love this ice cream paper too. Isn't it fun? So this is just going to go inside here. Hey, Carol, good to see you. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stamp here, so that's why I put the paper on. So when I stamp, I'm actually going to kind of hold this closed, and I'm going to put my stamp right there. So I'm going to take one of these from here. I think I'm going to say treat yourself, and see where it is. There it is. And you can see, you can also do little popsicles, little sundae cones, all kinds of stuff. Let me get a block here. It helps if you have something to stamp on. You just get it put on a block. And I'm going to stamp this in Blackberry Bliss ink, which is the ink, the color that matches this paper. So we're just going to put treat yourself. And I'm just going to kind of hold that down and just center it right there. There you go. So, and that's what it looks like when you open it up. You've got plenty of space to write your little note here. If you don't want it to be seen, you can write it at the top. And the only thing we're going to do now is we're just going to attach a little piece of ribbon. This is one of the new ribbons that's in the catalog, and it is called Blackberry Bliss Striped. It's kind of sheer, but it has like little stripes on it. You can kind of see that. So all I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to get, excuse me, a glue dot, is I'm just going to wrap it right around here. and I'm just going to tie it right in a bow. So nothing fancy, just going to be tied right in a bow. If you have trouble with your bow sliding around, then you can put a little glue dot right underneath where your ribbon is tied, right there. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to hold that up. Yeah, I put some little glue dots here. I'm just going to use my scissors because I don't have my little thing off. So I have a little glue dot on my scissors here. So I want mine to kind of be right in the middle. So I'm just going to put the glue dot right in the middle. Then when I tie this, I'm just going to press that center part down right on top of the glue dot, and you can see it stays together. So it keeps the ribbon tight around the other piece while you're tying your bow. You don't have to worry about it getting too loose and coming apart before you get it. And then you're just going to tie yourself a little bow. Hopefully I can get it on the first try here. There we go. And then I'm just going to kind of adjust it a little bit to get it the size that I want it. And then I'm just going to trim the end. And this card is finished. See how fast and easy that was? So I start this about 8 o'clock and it is 8:21. So even after all the explaining, of course you'd have to cut your paper, but there's your card, flips open, and makes a great little, be great to put a little gift card in there or something. And this is the other one. This one has actual ice cream cones on it. This paper here is one of the papers that is in the Celebration catalog that's going on right now. It's called Oh So Ombre, and this is one of the pieces that goes with that. So there you go. Here's your cards. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you'll give it a try. I will put the measurements in the comments. This card, you'll also see it on my blog in the next couple days, and if you want to check it out, it's at www.jumpingintostamping.com. And if you like this paper and you want to try it, this is what the bigger piece of that particular piece looks like. You can also purchase that on my online store. If you make a purchase, please use my host code, which is right here. No way to pronounce those letters, so you just have to write it down. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that I will see you here next week. I'm not sure if I'm not here live next week, I will have a video posted instead. Having a little surgery on my ankle, so hopefully I'm be feeling good by then. So I hope you have a great night, and I hope you try this card. And if you try this card, post a picture. Come back to my Facebook page and this video and post a picture underneath where your comments are. I'd love to see what you make. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good night.